Man, I'm glad you guys jumped in when you guys jumped in. Hey, my name's John. If you've got about 30 minutes, hang out with me for just a few minutes. I've got a pretty neat video. So I've got a 1968 Oldsmobile 98 sitting over here, and I did find a 455 for it. So I went and picked it up at a guy's house. They cleaned it up a little bit, enough to sell it. I bought it. I'm gonna go through it, and we're gonna see if it's gonna be the best fit for this car. We're gonna decode it, figure out what it is, all that sort of stuff. So if you've got just a minute, go take a bathroom break, get yourself something cold to drink. We're gonna get started on this. And I did compile this out of several different time frames because this car was just gonna go through here like diarrhea. In one door, out the other. And I was gonna make some money on it. Anyhow, I kept it because it turned out to be a way nicer car than what I thought. And I'd been after this car for a while. So when I bought it, super stoked about it, and we're not going to find another one. You guys check out this car and then watch what we do with this 455. I'll catch you guys. Thanks for hanging out for just a minute. All right, cool. Kind of a fast and furious right now. Calvin and Riley are on their way over. Horseshoe Garage. I was fixing to call him a nickname. They're going to head over. Today I met with Calvin at another dude named Justin's house, and we wound up getting a 455 with the TH400 for the Oldsmobile. Part of the deal is Riley, this 5.7 in here, is in extremely good shape and is a very nice engine, so he's going to take that as part of a trade deal. Calvin went and picked up the 455. He's bringing it here, so we do now have a numbered 455. It is of the F flavor, so it does have the forged bottom end. From the numbers on it, 68, 69, could be 67. I'm going to scratch off the pads and find out exactly what we have, but it has E-heads on it. It's already got an Edelbrock Performer intake on it and a few other things. Really nice engine. So we do kind of want to open that up and check it out. Root's under here.
Hey guys.
He's under there. He's getting the transmission ready to pull out of this one. We got to separate that 700 R4 and that 5.7.
John.
Yeah.
It's time for the jet.
Time. Well, go grab it, Playboy. Strut around like a pigeon.
I'm trying to see what I need here because it's like a.
Yeah, you'll need a block of wood and a jack. And that should be it. The torque converter is not bolted to anything, so we'll want to make sure that we slide it back on the input shaft. But I'll be under there with you here in just a second. So we're trying to beat Calvin here. So here in just a second, Horseshoe will be here. And we're going to pull the 5.7 out, get it sitting here, get the 454 out, and split apart so that we know what we're looking at. I got to drain the transmission, all that. I'll go through that. This is, if you're new here, it's something I do. Well, no. If you're new here, I do my own stuff most of the time. Let's slide it out towards you just a little bit. Okay, that's good. Keep going. Oh, Ruth went ahead and dropped those transmission bolts. Like 8 minutes later, we're pulling it. Done. I'm gonna stand on it, slowly let it down. That's it.
Yeah, I just love letting it down.
Okay.
This is my favorite part.
Here, let me do it.
I'm not ruining an engine for you.
Nah,
though.
you
Just gonna let it sit on the ground?
Nope. About right there. Should have pretty equal weight. We're gonna move it over here. Okay, let's drag it over here by this opening now, Luke. Over here. Okay, that's in there. C is
where was this
just alternator bracket, just in the
Like right here?
inside the triangle.
Yeah, we just hooked it right there earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, it falls over.
Now, C is, I'm gonna get a long bolt, we can throw it through the chain just to keep it from sliding. We'll slowly drag that out.
Do we want to use the leveler this time, John?
No, man.
Okay.
I hope this thing doesn't
We
tip.
got like men. No need for all that safety stuff.
Yeah, whatever you say.
What are you doing, Root?
We've got some help on this.
All right. Cool. All right.
Wait, do you need this?
What?
So,
Yep, there we go. And as this starts tensioning,
It wants to come to the top.
cool. Make sure that bolt don't slide out, Root.
yeah, you watch the Root.
No, Root.
Yeah, we need it even.
There you go, Root.
Yeah. What we're trying
It won't
to do,
slide out right there.
it just keeps it, it
Oh, yeah, it
gives us
won't
more of
come
a
out now.
balance feature.
Listen to that.
And it should, we're not going too far high up with it.
Root, you
We're clear
understand
right
this
there.
is why.
Hey, you guys jump out of there.
That's why the counter keep
This
testing.
way,
Jump
Calvin.
over it, Root.
Yeah, we're good, Calvin.
Save yourself, Root.
You're good.
Oh, shit.
All right, pull out. No. I'll pull out. Or you pull out and I'll lower it. Right where it's at. I want it over here.
Okay.
John, I hope you got
Oh, you want me to pull out?
Yeah.
John, I hope you got some
Yeah,
force
pull out.
when
Don't
you
have
dance.
another Riley.
I got it.
I look like Bigfoot in here. See all the trails?
That's from me, dummy.
Your feet ain't that big, Root.
Right there, right there, right there. What's wrong with
You wish, dog. Riley, you want to come let this down, brother?
Sure.
He's like, yeah, I'll be the one who flips it.
Better not tip over.
No, it's not. I'm on the way. No, we got it balanced great, dude.
That's
It's a good thing are we recording this one? Is it recording still? Yep.
That's a good.
Look at that.
That's a good 230 pounds right there.
Shit, dude. That block itself is probably 380 pounds.
Which one's that?
Right in there, right in there.
Right.
Shut her off. There you go.
Dude.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. This one's nicer than the other one.
Yeah. That good looking fella is Calvin. Nose hair.
Handsome mofo.
Perfect.
What cylinder is that on, Ryan?
Hey, look at the front seal, dude.
I think like 4 or 6.
It's been replaced. Yes. Cool. A little bit of fluid there. Did you see it when it poured some of that fluid out at his house? How red it was?
It looks good.
It's good. Sweet. Their Root is visually inspecting the tops of the pistons and inside the cylinder walls. Riley and Calvin walked through it a minute ago, just kind of checking it out. They said everything looks good. I'll check later. They said it looks just like a good old carbon duct engine. I'm gonna pull the valve covers off. We're gonna get this on a cherry picker right, or a engine stand and a transmission stand right quick. And then we'll jump into opening this up and taking a look. This is a 455. We got to get to some numbers and figure out exactly what it is. We know it's 68, 69, 455 F code E heads with an Edelbrock torquer intake bonus and a Holley that's rough. So
It's only been painted twice.
yeah,
Strip down
so
the
we'll soak it. We'll soak it. But I'm pretty stoked about it. It looks like it has a new fuel pump. I forgot the alternator and all that, but he's got the main brackets that I need for the AC and for the alternator, all that stuff. So that works. We got the fan. He's going to pick up the transmission. It has the saddles. We need the part that goes to the A-frame, or to the, what do we call that?
The K-member.
K-member.
They're looking good.
There we go. So back to a time lapse.
That's like
This is
20.
You know,
you can
yeah,
put on.
and I think these
I don't
were.
trust myself to do that.
Ooh, he's got some wire wheel.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So he wire wheeled it.
Yeah.
Well, he saved me
This
from
can
doing
come
that.
off
I don't want it to sound tacky, but yeah, pull it out.
You need a bolt.
Oh hell yeah!
Dude, this doesn't look bad at
No.
all.
That's just a little.
Yeah, that's just a little.
Oh hell yeah! No, that looks good in my book.
Let's pull this
I've
off
seen
and
these where these are absolutely
really well.
roached.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's get it. I think your bolt right there. We'll get those two.
No, it's the same 16s.
Right.
All right, then here, let's jump on this one.
That's a 7/16.
Okay, God.
What do you want to do with this?
Big upside.
Does it have that good smell? Let's look at the inside of that. Did he clean all that?
It's just a little.
Oh, that's not bad. This always turns into a thing. I went ahead and got me some dedicated bolts. How many times do I have to go through this? I need to put something on here and leave it with the cherry picker. Dix, quit. All right. I'm ready to get this thing up and off the floor and spun over. Guys, so far, man, this thing looks real good. Calvin stayed late. Calvin and Peach Fuzz stayed late the other night and went through the decode process, and this seems to be I think he said 1970 Cutlass 442 or Vista Cruiser. Not a W30 engine, however, very, very good engine to have. So, I'm gonna get this balanced out, centered up, put on there on the stand. I'll probably put you guys in lickety split mode. So, let's do that. What a gorgeous day, man. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. We all need a little bit of help. Am I right? I went ahead and got that flipped up and started taking the engine apart while I was letting this battery charge. So a few things I'll show you guys in just a second. I'm stoked about the engine. We'll walk through that. But just took all the bolts out, got all the crunchies off there, blew it off, brake clean. You know what I mean? Scrape it off, clean it. No need in watching that. Well, a few things. It looks like it already has a different pan gasket on it. It's not full of glitter. Now, it does have a cork gasket on there, so something's been changed in there. It has a few miles on it. I can see all of this would be clutch material. You know what I mean? That's gonna be totally normal. We don't wanna see big chunks of glitter. So man, that's good. Gaskets, kinda. This could have been 10, 15 years ago. That's coming off quite easy. Nice. Man, that means that thing's been sealed up the whole time. It hasn't had a chance to dry out. That's so much better. That typically saves our O-rings and all that stuff in there too. Let me bring you guys in right quick. What is that? Looks like a tooth. That's weird. All right, something's broken there. Check this out. Ooh, I can see that rear drum too. Oh, it's rusty. I'll bring you guys in. I got carried away. Right off the bat, we got a big chunk of plastic. It does look like a tooth though, kind of crazy, right? Oh man, but let's see, we've got a little bit of junk right here. This is the side, The fill hole is right here, so I had it sitting this way for quite some time and moved it around so that everything would kind of fall. Yeah, we've got some, oh, that's just carbon, kind of metallic-y. Okay, so there's our little tooth. Looks like another little piece of tooth. Anyhow, I'll pull that filter and check that out. But right off the bat, that's always cool to kind of follow along. There are some things on the bottom of the filter. Okay. I will pull that filter right quick. It's just a 1/2 inch. Let me get that out because that's going to tell us a whole lot more. Let me pull that off right quick. We can look in there. We can see if we've got 2 O-rings on the plug or the, what do you call it? The up tube. That's not too crazy. No big chunks of glitter. That's what we're looking for. Like I said, this is going to be kind of common. That, you know, that's old clutches and wear. Nice. Nice red fluid too. You guys see that? Makes me so happy. I was even more stoked about the engine. Give me just a second here. So that's not plastic, that's metal, that's an upgrade. I'm pulling out the O-rings. Yes, 2 O-rings, guys. Someone's been in here. This is a trick that when people rebuild them, they put 2 O-rings so that you know that you have plenty of fluid suction. Yes, guys, that's, oh, that's so good. So good. Sweet. So that just means, it doesn't mean that it's rebuilt. It doesn't mean that, you know, this is all fresh and new. It could have been done years ago. But what that does tell us is that someone has been in here, which I would rather have that and stuff look good and be clean. Our prong in here, this wire, this is real common. So on this solenoid, it's cracked. This is common. Y'all see me do that on that Buick. Can you guys even see what I'm looking at? Right here. This is where we're at. I'll bring you guys in right quick. Let's jump on the engine. Yeah, I can see the drum right here, and it's nice. It doesn't look chewed up, but I can see some surface rust on the back. And all this stuff comes off there real easy. I'll pull all that apart. I think I have a, let me get a towel. I think I have a TH400 rebuild kit in there. If not, then I've done enough of them. I can probably scrounge together and rebuild this, get a kit, and just do it. So here's the valve body gasket. That's not a Transgo. That would be a factory one. They don't look like anybody's tried to pry that plate up too, like if they took the valve body off and you get in there and wiggle that to get your 2, I think those are vacuum modules, right? Or fluid module. Looks good to me. Let me show you guys the engine. Sorry, kind of got on a thing. Figured I'd bring you along though. We never get to do this. It's nice and quiet. So I haven't done anything to this. I know the gentleman did, like, when we're not going to say a Craigslist rebuild. That's not what he was intended on doing. He had some guys over there. They cleaned it up, put some spray paint on it. He told me that, and I'm cool with that. They saved me a ton of time. Now, when we're looking at this super clean, we kind of brought you guys in just a minute ago. I haven't done anything to this other than get it on the cherry picker, cover the valley pan, pull the accessories off. Okay, that's all I've done. Everything is sitting right here, right there, just like you seen it last time. But if they came in here and did that, if we're looking on top of these nuts, you can see every one of these washers is nice and clean. Whenever I drain the oil, there's not no brake clean in there, like they flushed everything through. I've had it dripping for an hour and a half. There's no metal, there's no gum, there's no thicket coming out. As a matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, let's see if there was metal on the... Nope, I'm not seeing any. No. Cool, so that's the drain plug. Engine mount bolts. Look how nice these are. You pull these out, and they're in that good a shape. That's so awesome. You know, they're not rusted in. They're not this, that, and the other. The alternator bolts, same thing. Front accessory drive bolts, all of them came right out. Super cool. So anyhow, if they did that, I mean, I know they did. He told me they did. But they did a fantastic job. That's something that I typically do anyway, just so I know that it's clean. New gaskets. If we're looking down in here, you know, they did a fantastic job. You can see some little needle brushes and stuff. There's blue overspray on stuff. I'll clean that off. But, you know, Calvin and I were spinning it over, checking out the cam. Everything looks pretty good. But I do want to get my shop vac in here with my little thing and, you know, get all this junk out, clean that. I want to get that as clean as possible. But they did do an excellent job. Or this engine is very low mileage. Same thing on this side. So me and Calvin are looking at it and we're like, holy moly, dude. Everything just keeps getting better and better. Now, I do need to flip it over, and I'll do that tomorrow, and you guys will be with me. It's gonna be a real cold day here tomorrow, so we're gonna be in the shop. I've already got all my week stuff done. So we're gonna spin this over and we'll check out the bottom end. That's what I want to see. But so far, guys, looking excellent. The water pump spins good. I mean, everything on it, I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Very nice find. So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to check and see if I have enough stuff out of my Transgo kits to get into here, see if I got a vacuum module. I'm going to dig through some boxes. I won't do that tonight. I'm going to finish cleaning this, but I did want to bring you guys in and take a look at this before anything happens, because guys, this is stuff you can do. And if you've got the engine and transmission, get a wire brush, get this. You know, like $10 at Harbor Freight, you can get a lot of stuff. These yellow, where's it at? Shoot, use old chisels too. Chisels that you bust up real hard. They're great for scraping. Anyway, the yellow handled ones, they work well. I don't know what I did with it. I thought it was sitting up there. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to continue on getting a few things done, and then I'll bring you guys in the morning, I assume, unless something catches me, and I'll bring you guys back in. But all in all, a couple hours, stoked about it. Thank you, Justin, and thanks, Calvin, Horseshoe Garage, for meeting up with me at this dude's house. We don't know, several guys walking around with some cash, you know what I mean? Not that it was like that, it wasn't. But let's meet up. I'm at work. Can you grab this so nobody else gets it before I do? So Calvin Horseshoe Garage came in clutch on that one. So that was awesome. Well, I didn't think much about that. I wouldn't have figured there would have been any coolant in here. Guys, there's fresh antifreeze all over my garage floor. And I am so happy about that. That is such a good deal to find. Like, you turn it over and fresh antifreeze comes out. Yes. This keeps getting better and better. So, you're out of disk space. You're going to shut off any minute. Let me go ahead and bring some kitty litter over here and throw it on our new spot. I think I've just about got all that over there done and buttoned up. So, let me get some kitty litter on this and clean off the bolts. We don't want a bunch of stuff falling in there. Yup. All right, boys, all the bolts are out. This bad boy hasn't been off there before. I see fresh silicone up here, or orange silicone, which would have been, you know what, 70s and 80s? Long before blue come around and took over. There it is. Y'all hear it change? Did you hear it change? All right, so here's what we're looking for. We don't want to see, let me let me throw some towels down over here. I ran out of kitty litter. There's not enough over there. I'm going to track this everywhere. And I have a ton of old towels. So, let me take a second and just kind of throw these around and clean them as I walk past them. Goodness, I think I would have just done that. All right. We don't want to see purple. We don't want to see blue. We don't want to see red. We don't want to see pink. We want to see shiny and black. We don't want anything that looks like sandpaper. This is for all you guys that don't know. Okay, still trying to clean my mess up over here little as I go. And it is antifreeze and I have a dog. So we may have a pickup on the sump. So we may have to pick it up and slide it forward. Don't really know if it feels like something in the back is catching. Ooh, damn, I see purple. Yup. Damn sure do. Let me bring you guys in a little bit of condensation. Sludge and condensation in the bottom. Let's look at this right quick. Not horrible. And if you think that this is maybe hasn't been off in, let's say, 100,000 miles or something, this isn't too horrible. Had a little bit of water sitting on top of it. Where this dent is, there's a dent that's pushing this up. It kind of kept everything over here in this corner, so it wouldn't have came out when we drained the oil. But there's a little stuff in there. Nothing crazy, nothing sticking to the top of the magnet, of course. I wiped it off already when we had it out. Not concerning, but I do see a little spot of purple on a main cap. I'll bring you guys in just a second. Let me see if that's what I'm seeing and hope it's not a shadow. No, it's absolutely purple. All of these are, well, some of these have stamps and some don't. This one has 2 on it. All the main caps have stamps on it. That's weird. Seems like it would be a 4-bolt main cap, but it does have 5 of them. So that's legit. Man, this crank looks brand new. Timing chain is tight. Dang, let me bring you guys in. Right off the bat, let me show you what I'm looking at before I turn this. Now, this isn't to say that something's happened, but this is where we're gonna start looking. We can see a little bit of surface rust on here. We're not concerned with that at all. Let me find a socket where we can start turning that over. Imagine I can just grab the flywheel. Let me do it that way. All right, let me bring you in and show you what I see. All right, so we're looking at this. This would be cylinder 1 and 2, opposite banks. Now it's upside down, so this would be 1, 3. This would be number 3. Now, if we're looking at that, see how that's purple right there? That's not good. That's right in the center of a main cap. So we'll pop that off and check and see. We can pop that off, spin it over, get the bearing out, see if it's something that we can clean up maybe, slide a new bearing in, but that is concerning. As we turn it more, we'll know more, okay? But right off the bat, see how there's big dots stamped in here? Let me get that off of my towel. Dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, and those are heavy too, pow, pow, pow. Now that may be from the factory, I don't know, but look how nice this crank looks. You can see the internals of the cam over there. Let me get a flashlight. This is always what I find amazing. Oh shit, those are new rods, dude. There's no way. There is no fucking way. This has no wear. Look at the inside of the block. What? Oh, this has nowhere. I don't know that they would have used, see this head right here? I don't know that they would have used those then either. You see how we got number 4 stamped right here? You know what I mean? Everything is, there's just some casting numbers. That's going to tell us a lot more. But look at the piston skirts on the inside. Nice. Let's see if we can find a cylinder wall. Yep, there's a cylinder wall right in there. Look down in there, our pistons all the way up. Look how nice that is. We're going with it. So we need to spin it over and check on that. Timing cover. See if we got steel gears. Check and see if it's loose. No, it's pretty snug. The 5-row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, it looks good in there. Look at that. Can y'all see what I see? That's such good news. So we need to find out about number 4. What'd I say it was? 1, 3? It's number 4. Oh, it's upside down. Y'all seeing all this too? Look inside that cylinder wall. Cylinder, the pistons down just a little. See it? Look at the bottom of that piston and that connecting rod. You can't tell me. If this was ran with unleaded or leaded gas, man, there'd be so much carbon and stuff in here. And there just isn't. Look at the back of the timing cover. Golly. This looks so good. Other than that, I'm going to turn that over. We need to find out about that. I don't see anything on any others. Inside that piston down there. Nice and clean. See the cam down in there? Everything looks good. And I'll clean a lot of this stuff up. I'll soak it up with towels with a little bit of brake clean on it, you know what I mean, and just slowly pull stuff out. Just want to get out as much as possible, and we'll find out about that. I don't want to have to pull it apart, but with this the way it is, I mean, if we got to pull heads, we got to pull heads. I do have the gaskets. I don't want to get into that, but that connecting rod, or the bottom of that connecting rod, the cap, purple, got to pay attention to that. Could be a bad deal. Got to pull it apart before we put it together. I know that. So, dang it. Let's do some more investigating. Look how clean the pickup screen is. A lot of times, did I just set my flashlight down? I did. A lot of times, man, it's so nice out here in the evenings. A lot of times, if we shine up in there, yeah, we can see a little bit of gunk, but that's not bad at all. Some of them would be full of silicone and, I mean, dirt clods and just all sorts of stuff. You're like, what? You know what I mean? So it's a good thing to always dig up in there. I'll weld that on there too once we beat the pan down and get all that set. I'll show you guys how we go about that. What a great night. Yes, everything looks good. Nothing alarming. If the purple is all I have to deal with, so be it. And really, we can just pull that cap and check the bearing. I mean, we'll pull it up. We'll know right offhand. But kind of knowing better, hoping for the best. I'm going to shut it down, guys. I went ahead and got those... I'm not going to be able to sleep. I came back over here. Man, you guys are crooked. Are y'all even straight? Can y'all even see? Can y'all see what's going on over here? Probably a huge glare. Yeah. I went ahead and pulled that cap. because I won't be able to sleep. Oh, that looks excellent. Thank God. Very good. There we go. Very good. We didn't want to see it all purple and pink in there, any kind of discoloration. So that's weird. I wonder if they balanced it, or when they balanced it, they would put it flat. See how that's a machined surface too? Can y'all see that? Let me get some light on it. Right here. I wonder if it could have just done something and got hot, because the cap itself, you can see, I can see where it's curved, like there's different indentations in it. I'll try to get it in the light. Can y'all see that? Where like if you were trying to hold it on something flat and it kind of moves a little bit and you size it back up and weigh it, you know what I mean? If it could have got a little hot, I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to get the bearing out. Let me get a little baby magnet. This will tell us, and this has to go back in there in the direction I pulled it out. We're golden. We are absolutely golden. Nothing wrong with that. So, orientation. Connecting rod looks fantastic. Absolutely. Guys, we're golden. Whew. Sweet. So that's going right back on there. Our 4 connects right there. And I'll get the torque sequence tonight. We're torquing that right back down. We're golden, boys. Continue on. We just won. Thank goodness, man. Thank goodness. We're going into a time of the year I don't spend money. I do too, but not like, you know, a lot of spend money. So, I'll get the torque sequence. Let me put that on there so I'll remember that that needs done. I'll do that in the morning, and we're gonna get cleaned up for the night and go inside. I've got to get a bunch of this into a computer. So, man, that makes me feel, I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I'm gonna be looking at Oldsmobile shit all night long. I can already tell you. King of the road. King of the road. This is the not so glamorous part of all of this, is getting years of bake-off stuff. I mentioned this before. Find you a set of chisels at a garage sale, and you don't want sharp ones. As a matter of fact, they need to be rounded over, and you can keep them cleaned up with the file where you can scrape metal without digging into it and creating a bunch of ruts. We've got to get this oil pan cleaned up next. And this is my cleaning area. I've got all my kitty litter in this area. I've got a couple cases or cans of brake clean out of a case. And I'm going to slowly clean this up. We got to beat this oil pan back down, same as the transmission pan, get out any dents in them. And then we're going to re-gasket the bottom ends of these. Well, not this one, but this. I'll show it to you in a second too. It's amazing. So y'all just seen where that bearing and all that's fine. I stayed up all night looking at stuff. So we're good to go on that. I feel absolutely safe about that. I'm gonna clean this, then I'm gonna bring you into that and show you that. We're gonna get the bottom end buttoned up so I can start getting the burr wheels on everything. Got to sand down the valve covers. I have some media in the blaster, so I'm gonna hit a bunch of the parts. We're just gonna spend the day getting stuff cleaned up. So it's cold and it's windy, so we're not working today, which is just fine. But I'm gonna get this cleaned up. This is the not so fun part of it. But let's get into it. Oh, and ffrom 90, of course. So after some extensive detective work performed by myself, our little deal, you see this in here? Can you guys see that? See where that hatch is? Bam, and then there's a little one right up here. Guess what this lines up to if we put this back on there? Our little purple mark that was on the end of our connecting rod. So I'm gonna take a hammer, I'm gonna beat this back out and get those intermediate dents out that's right there. You can see where something, hit it pretty hard. I'm gonna set this up, beat that back down, and we're gonna put this back together, but that's where our purple mark come from. And judging by the cleanliness and how good everything looks, I'm not gonna say that this thing wasn't just rebuilt. They put this on there, it happened, and they shut it down because all these bolts, those bolts I showed you a minute ago, there's dirt on the outside from like it's sitting in a field or in the back of someone's shop where there's some dirt. However, everything still looks so good on the inside. And just a second ago, you seen the pickup for the oil pump? Super clean, you know what I mean? It's like, I wonder if, I'm just saying, 2 and 2, if you put 2 and 2 together, could this have been rebuilt? They put the pan on it, made the noise, and parked it. That's all I'm asking. Could that be a possibility? Because I pulled apart quite a few vehicle engines in my day. And most of them, especially if they run leaded gas, they're full of carbon. This thing, it's just as pretty now as it was yesterday. And I haven't done anything to it other than wipe off the cleaning surfaces. And surfaces right here where I can set my towel. Score! All right, I gotta get back to it. I'm rambling. You guys are a little crooked. Let me get that fixed up there. Can you see my little project here? I've got that intake over here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit all these little threads and everything with the buzz wheel, all the brass vacuum fittings. I'm gonna go ahead and hit while they're on here. That way if I need them, they're already clean when I take them off. You get what I'm saying? And I went through and loosened most of them, so it shouldn't be too bad. But around all these pipe plugs and all that, we're just gonna clean it so that we've got good color and shit. Then we're going to hit this with the aluminum. The Seymour, the good paint. We just want to get it cleaned up so that it'll look like it's all new. And this is always easier to do. These little nipples and all that while it's on here. See what I mean? These studs, we're gonna clean them all up. I've got a brush over here too that I'll run through all the tunnels. So, just part of getting it cleaned up, make sure that it's fresh, that sort of thing. Blow it off a couple times, we're gonna paint it. Oil pan's done, then we'll start on the transmission. I want that oil pan so I can set it on here and then get that block painted. Still have to run the wire wheel over some of it and put some engine degreaser on it. And brake clean it off a little bit more, but it's soaking in the background as I'm going back and forth. We'll bring you to that in a minute. So continue to hang out, guys. We're getting close. Now, if you don't ever jump on Amazon and buy these, you can get them on Temu and all sorts of stuff. They're real cheap. You can get like 30 of them for like 12 bucks or something. I buy the one that's less, like 15 for like 30 bucks because they're pretty good for doing this kind of stuff. See all that shit flying out of there? Look at that, boy. That's what's kind of cool. Justin, or one of his guys, he's a mobile mechanic. I think he has some young guys that work with him, do brakes and stuff. Anyway, they spent quite a bit of time cleaning this up. which I certainly appreciate. So I got to tape off the brass, this little deal, or temp sensor deal here, man. I tried to get that out, and holy moly, let's do this. Let me start soaking that down from the back and see if we can get that to break loose, because I'd like to have that out of there. This may be something we do over a few days and have to heat it and such. Paint ain't gonna stick too good to WD-40. Just enough to get it in there, and then we're gonna wipe the excess away. I'll soak it in on the inside a couple of times before we put it on. Good news is I can hit it from right here. So that works. I'm gonna grab some tape. We're gonna get to spraying. We're gonna check on that oil pan too. Let's see where it's at. I'm gonna flip y'all around. See how easy I made that? Oh yeah, still super tacky. Kind of figured, laid it on thick, and my phone keeps beeping. Let me check that. This is funny. I started making a video a second ago and Black Hole's Son was playing in the background. I've been flagged for that song before. I had to go back in and edit a bunch of stuff, and I don't know how to do that well. All right, so we're on the cylinder block. Or on the engine side. We're gonna work on the back of the cylinder heads and the block. I can see a lot of these passages, so of course I'll run my little thing through there. But what I wanna do is I wanna dig out anything and check these freeze plugs while they're out. And just right off the bat, they look fantastic. Just gonna wipe this down, get this nice and clean so that we can apply some gold paint. So that's nice. Probably need to pull the water pump off too. I do have a gasket kit. I'll make sure that that's in there, because that would be nice. We know that it spins, so I seriously doubt anything's going on with it. I need to go ahead and start soaking the bolts for the oil pan and get those cleaned up. I don't necessarily need to paint them. For whatever reason, I like it when the bolts are different colors. Kind of just, you're like, so nice. Kind of like freeze plugs when you can still see brass on them. Or, you know, the stamped, what is it? Probably not galvanized. Well, it could be galvanized. But whatever. I'm going to get these cleaned up so that we can see some stuff. I also want to check that pad number. And we can cross-verify a few things now that everything's off. Let's bring you in and take a look at a few things. So, our freeze plugs, these are Dormans. It says P36, but anyhow, you look in there, Dorman. New freeze plugs all the way around. Guys, this just keeps getting better and better. And they all look good. So everything's cleaned off. I put some brake clean on there, wiped it off. The intake is painted. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do is get a light coat of gold right here before I put the pan on. That way there's a nice sandwich line. So I'm gonna stick my towels or that back on top of that. We're gonna paint the top half gold, go ahead and set the pan on it. So we'll get all this bottom and all these little corners gold, you know what I mean, from the bottom side. Then we can flip it over and do the top side. Capiche? All right, so I got to check my phone, and I think I got to run into town and pick up some checks. So that's always good news. I'll be back here shortly. Back freeze plugs on the head. So far, this thing's in excellent shape. Kind of cool. Real cool, actually. Most of this is already clean. Justin's guy did me a service on that. He did me legit. I ain't got to spend time doing it. And this is half of it, guys. When you get all this stuff cleaned off and you're taking your time, you'll notice every little leak, every little nook and cranny. And that's what you want. You want it to be yours where you know what's up with it. Man, they did a good job. That's really it, other than some brake clean right there. The bottom of his head, where that big bracket was. Leaving that pretty legit. I think I showed y'all the timing chain last night too, didn't I? Check the tension on it. It's fine. Now we don't want to just douse this with brake clean. Try to get off as much as we can. To get it. So, pro tip, we're about to start painting. Grab you a good can of fresh paint or whatever you have. Get a piece of cardboard. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. So, I had some of the aluminum that I did the intake in. I went ahead and just kind of hit around the water pump. And I'll let that dry, and then I can use the wire wheel and clean the nuts, and it'll be black and all that stuff, leaving everything behind it the same color. So we're just eliminating tasks. Man, I'm about to run out of battery. I'm gonna get to painting this before it dies on you guys. Gold engine paint. I'm not real sure what years of Oldsmobile were gold, what they put them in. That sort of, oh, I don't want to get a bunch of paint on that. What years it was, I don't know a bunch of that type of stuff. Certain guys do. I don't. I just think the gold would look better. We're just gonna get on a couple light coats to start with. Here's our piece of cardboard coming in clutch again. And that's stoked, or I am stoked that is new freeze plugs. This has new freeze plugs. This just keeps getting better and better. We're just hitting all the little cracks and crevices in the bottom surfaces. Keep in mind we got spark plug holes up here. Let me cover that so none of y'all lose your mind. A lot of times you can take a aluminum foil and put it on stuff. Y'all have probably seen that if you've been watching the channel. Super helpful. Okay, just a tacky little coat. That's all we want. Mainly I was wanting to get up around this region. So now that that's done, we can let that sit there and stew and bake and do what it's gonna do. We know that we can continue putting gaskets on here. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So they had golds, reds, blues. Make sure you guys are still hanging in. I don't remember specifically. It seemed like I remember a gold one. that had red valve covers. It was bad as hell, and it was like, you know, all the manufacturers had their own little, oh, it's a super rocket, or a, you know, this, that, and the other. Who really knows? But they used to use colors to signify things, and that's a pretty good way to do it. Not real worried about getting paint on any of the exhaust stuff. It's gonna burn off anyhow. My deal is I want to get this covered up tonight, so getting this top done soon is gonna benefit me tremendous. Or getting the top, the bottom back here where I can flip it over and get to the top. Mason's over here whooping ass.
Both boys got their own project. Root is taking care of all this transmission. I got Mason on a simple little task. It wound up taking him making a little tool and deriving a concoction of engineering and physics, and he just got the bracket off. This isn't gonna stay gold. I think it looks hideous. I've got some red. I don't like that at all. And I think I don't remember if gold was Cadillac. Seems like I remember it being an Oldsmobile color, but it looks horrendous. You're gonna flip that around. We've had
The shop warming up for just a bit. The Mason and Sam came out here and pulled that transmission out of the Oldsmobile and got it out from under it. So we're good to go there. I think we're just kind of farting off and taking it easy today, getting some shit cleaned up and pulled apart and all the nasty stuff scraped off so we can get painted. We'll see how far we get doing that, but I'd like to see about getting the front end loosened up, or what it would take to get the front end off, get the bumpers off maybe. We'll see, but we're at it today, just slowly. And look at that horrendous mess.
I left you a surprise.
fucking Mason.
Oh, excuse me. Mason, that's what's up.
I left you a surprise when you go through your video.
Do what?
I left you a surprise when you go through your videos and start editing them. If the camera can see me.
Are you winking at me?
Something.
You checking out my package?
No.
That little thing right there.
Here, show the camera. That's legit. Bam! Mason saved the day. While Sam's filming me behind my back. GoPro! Hey, you want to see me paint it? I'm going to paint this right quick.
Put it in time warp.
Why are you so bossy?
I'm just saying it's an idea.
Why are you so bossy?
It's an idea.
So where's that power go?
Sam's always bossing me around. It reminded me of stuff I forgot.
Why hasn't he kicked me out yet?
He's got the memory of an elephant. Isn't an elephant the one that
I think it's
has
a
a
goldfish.
great memory?
No, I think it's a goldfish.
Yeah. You got the memory of the goldfish? He said.
Come on, an idea, you could put the GoPro in time warp.
I could. Or
They can watch your horrible artistic skills.
it's red paint.
What are you doing?
That's why I turn it the other way.
God. It's gotta look better than gold. My God. Y'all jump in the comments. Was it Cadillac that was gold? Isn't that what it was? Seems like it. 60-something Cadillacs. And I thought it was like a year or two of the 442s or something. Don't remember. You say you love the smell of turkey? You love beef jerky? What'd you say? I already like that better.
That's really good.
God, that's already better. What is? I don't know.
That's like cherry red.
Yeah, and I put it on heavy coat or enough coat that it'll cover well.
John, can the camera see me while I'm wearing?
Probably not. I think I'm the star of the show right now. Why? Why you not your dinner? One cool thing about this block that makes it real valuable, see this big bolt hole right here?
Yes.
That's for a Z-bar.
Really?
For a clutch. Not all 455s had a bolt.
So you could clutch it. You
could put this would provide, you could put a standard transmission on this engine and it would hold the ball for the Z-bar for a foot clutch.
I've never seen one with it.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, but as I was reading up on it, I found that out. I thought, well, that's rad. And it makes it a little more desirable.
Is what's his name not gonna come get his motor?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll come get it.
Why didn't they want it whenever they brought this one?
They don't have room in the shop. They've got like a couple customer cars and stuff like that.
Because like with the older cars, most people would prefer the standard.
Nah, they'll come get it. God, that's so much better.
It sure does look like freaking apple red, but it don't taste like it.
Yeah, we'll open the door if y'all want.
It tastes like chemicals.
Yeah, we probably should.
It tastes like Miss Brown's class.
No, I like it. It's
I
fine.
get over here, it's foggy over there.
You open the door.
Yeah. Nipsey will run in and watch her start sneezing.
No, she ran right back out.
Then she's like, nope. Not today, playboy.
Come on, Dix. More keeps popping up in places that I didn't even know could have this stuff.
It'll be in there everywhere.
It's like sand.
Stuff
It'll be all
all
over
in.
you.
It's gonna get all over you without you even noticing.
Yup. That what it do.
That's how it do be.
Nice. I'm gonna give it a minute before I light that heater. We'll let it air out a little bit here before we introduce flame. You know?
I guess.
So you're pretty much done with all these for now, huh?
It'd be pretty cool if we did let it out.
Man, I tell you one thing. The best thing about having I guess the Kool-Aid house, I think that's what they call it. I had to put Dix out. She's mad. Dixie. Y'all hear me say that. The neighborhood hooligans, Sam and Mason, made it by today. So, what you just seen, you know, we're all working on it. Bam, guys, this is within like 7 hours. Those kids put it down today. Lot of cleaning, grind, dirt, blam, wire wheels, and they stayed at it. They stayed connected. I'm so proud of them boys. So the 455 is back together, and couldn't be more proud of it. I'm gonna bring you guys around for just a second. It looks like something exploded in here, and everybody just left. I turned the heaters off. It's kind of cooling off now, and I think it's time for me to shut it down for the day. Let me put down my coffee. I want to pick you guys up and walk you around. Like I said, it looks like something exploded, but you guys get it. I think if you're here by now and you're still watching, you're kind of into cool stuff. All right, so, you know, it had the Torker intake, all that's back together. Got rid of the gold, painted it red. Now, the valve covers are a different red, and I don't know if the boys realize that, but
The transmission pan and the valve covers were one, which I don't really care. I will hit it up again just to get some handprints and stuff off. But guys, we just threw this together. Mason created a concoction. Y'all seen that a second ago. So he's got that painted and ready to go back. Talk about staying connected, man. Such a good hand. Mason got all of this disassembled, cleaned. This is all of our brackets. Engine mounts, pulleys, cleaned and painted. That's what he did today, and he did a very good job. Sam was on this transmission, guys, and it was rough. He went through here time and time again, and then he would be like, what do you think? And I would find just something to pick him apart. And then he would get a little angry and get in there and do even better. He did a fantastic job on this transmission. Root did. So those two boys, Mason had all that going. As we were switching and doing, Marcus came. He helped get all the intake bolts, everything put on. So now all our brackets will go back on tomorrow. I can clean this mess up. This is Horseshoe Garage. This is Riley's stuff. So I'll move that kind of out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and order parts for the transmission tonight. The clamshells for the engine mounts, or not the clamshells. I have the engine side of it. I need the frame side of it. I'm not sure if it's in these two boxes. All three of these boxes are for the Oldsmobile. So I'm going to go through those because we need clamshells. Let me see if there's holes in here. God, I got tools everywhere. So, we can kind of see where something was. So all this is going to get scraped, cleaned, and painted too. So we can kind of see on there, because I'm going to have to look on eBay and see. I can kind of see something right there. So I'll take some pictures of that. But we got to get that side of the engine mount. Let's see. I think that's about it. It's funny that everybody's like, dude, I've never thought about using an engine stand for this. For the transmission, you just put it on there, just like so. Spin it around. Works out excellent. I seen it on, I think it was just some tiny little YouTube channel. And I was like, what a good idea. And when we moved, that's one of my old ones. I lost one of the arms, or one of the arms disappeared. It probably became a hammer and then got set on the back of a truck. Just saying. But anyway, all of that's done, guys. I couldn't be more proud of this. You know, Root painted all the bolts black. Just so proud of them. I think they did a good job. They stayed connected. So this is all done, put together. Plugs are on there. I put it on top dead center, dropped the distributor. We should be able to fire that off. We're not going to. I'm going to go ahead and put the exhaust gaskets on there, get all that done where we can kind of move this into place. Got to get the clams, or not the clams, but the receiver side of that before we can even set it in there. And that's all got to be painted. So, I might end it here. I might just do that. And the next video, just go from there. We'll see. We'll see where you guys get it. Anyway, I'm calling it a night. It's like kind of late Saturday night. I want to go inside, fill up my coffee again, kick back. I got to get some parts on the way. So, if this is where I cut it and the video ends in about 10 seconds, man, peace, cheers, and yeah, we're getting there. Oldsmobile, gosh, he's bad. I say she is he. His name is Bishop. Bishop with a B. All right, we've got just a few little button-up deals to do. I'm gonna get this oil filter adapter on there. I went to prime it and forgot about that and blew oil all over my shop, so that's wonderful. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this mounted. I've got a filter that I've had for years. I'm gonna put on there. I just put there was some oil I got at a garage sale, a brand new Pennzoil 10W30 high mileage oil, and that should be fine. I'm gonna prime it up right quick, and we're gonna continue on. So good morning. The boys haven't made it in yet. Nice and quiet. I've got a birthday party to get to today. here shortly, so it's gonna be a short day, but I do wanna get this primed up and have this where I can have this setting. I'll probably pull the plugs out. I wanna rotate it quite a few times, prime it quite a few times, check for everything. I still gotta get a bunch of vacuum line. I'd like to get everything done on this while it's out. I'll mock up the carburetor and all of that, and then we'll get that mocked up and pull it back off, put the plate on there, or cover it and use the head bolts because they are easier to get to without pulling all that weight on that intake. I know that's a thing, but I feel better coming off the heads. Just always have, don't know why. So we got that. Let me get the filter. I'm gonna go get another quart of oil and put it in there. It's out of a box, it just happened to fit, so we're using it. So we can prime today. So I've got another deal. This is some that was left in another jug, or not another jug, just a little bit left in this one. So that's what we're gonna use. Killing all the birds with no stones. So really, other than paint, I don't have much in there. Much in this. The gasket kit came with it. Justin got a gasket kit when he got it and kind of opened it up and posted it up where you could physically open it and look at it, which is good. I like that. He did a lot of the cleaning, or someone at his shop did. Wonder if that's the boys. Nope. It's someone's boys. You know, that's one cool thing about living out here in the country. Everybody knows everybody. That was either Marcus up the street. Wasn't Durgan. And Alan's boy rides a motorcycle quite often. But he had a pretty spicy little two-stroke the other day. I was out having fun with it. Oh, thank goodness. We can get this. All right. There we go. Now I should be able to prime this, pick up some pressure. I didn't think about this. I've already stuck that intake on. Usually after they sit for a long time, I really, I cleaned it out, of course, and aired it out, got all that out of there, blew all that junk and debris out. But I like putting the oil in the top, you know what I mean, while it's open, because you can feel those lifter cups and all that. That's why I want to do this with the little tool. And what it is it runs counterclockwise on Oldsmobile. Didn't know that, so I had the timing all wrong yesterday. Man, we got us a nice heavy bead all down the back. That shouldn't have a leak. All right, so counterclockwise, I've got the pressure gauge over here. Let me get you guys set up where y'all can see it as I can see it. I have my breakover bar, yeah, right there. So we're gonna get oil pressure, we're gonna turn it a quarter of a turn, oil pressure, quarter of a turn. We wanna make sure that all those lifter cups and give everything a chance to flush out. And what I may do too is get all of that run through there a few times where we know that it's run, and drain the oil, run it through a paint filter, and pull out or see if there's any contaminants in there. You know what I mean? Give it the best chance possible. I'm hoping this engine was broke in. You know, when we were talking about a second ago, it looks new. Everybody I've talked to is like, holy shit, that's incredible. Like, that's way, way clean on the inside. So if it was new and they dented that pan and hit that and then just gave up, I don't know if I should be running some break-in oil. So I'll get some good stuff and put some additive in it. You know what I mean? Just to make sure. But counterclockwise, I'm going to reposition you guys. Let's get on to this next step. GoPro, stop recording. All right, we've got just a few little button-up deals to do. I'm going to get this oil filter
adapter on there. I went to prime it and forgot about that and blew oil all over my shop, so that's wonderful. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this mounted. I've got a filter that I've had for years. I'm gonna put on there. I just put there was some oil I got at a garage sale, a brand new Pennzoil 10W30 high mileage oil, and that should be fine. I'm gonna prime it up right quick, and we're gonna continue on. So good morning. The boys haven't made it in yet. Nice and quiet. I've got a birthday party to get to today here shortly, so it's going to be a short day, but I do want to get this primed up and have this where I can have this setting. I'll probably pull the plugs out. I want to rotate it quite a few times, prime it quite a few times, check for everything. I still got to get a bunch of vacuum line. I'd like to get everything done on this while it's out. I'll mock up the carburetor and all of that, and then we'll get that mocked up and pull it back off, put the plate on there, or cover it and use the head bolts because they are easier to get to without pulling all that weight on that intake. I know that's a thing, but I feel better coming off the heads. Just always have, don't know why. So we got that. Let me get the filter. I'm gonna go get another quart of oil and put it in there. It's out of a box, it just happened to fit, so we're using it. So we can prime today. Can you guys see that? We're looking right here. You see our little needle sitting at 0? We're gonna watch it go around now. That's got braking oil in it, that's why that's red. That tubing you see back there, and it is on nylon because this is my one I take in and out to do this sort of stuff. So we wanna be going backwards, we're counterclockwise. We have a filter on. Let's find out if I've got all the holes plugged. Okay, this is where we're gonna be watching. We're gonna start a little slow. Yeah, I felt it start building pressure and all of a sudden it went. You see that? And we're going very low. We're at 30 PSI. What we're watching for, yeah, you guys are in the frame still. What we want to see is we want to see oil start coming out of these rocker arms. I need to get a piece of cardboard. Let me do that right quick. Okay, so now we have a piece of cardboard on each side. That's the little pieces I was using whenever I was painting this. So we're gonna turn it. If we don't see something coming out of one of the lifters, that's okay. We're gonna get good oil pressure, run it for a few minutes on one. We're gonna turn it 90 degrees. We're gonna do it again. We wanna keep pumping this through there so that we know that we've got those oil valleys, passages, oil holes, nice and clean oils pumping, filling up lifters, that sort of thing. Okay, so we're gonna start building pressure. There we go. We're getting at 20. And we're gonna keep it low for a minute. We're not real worried about the rocker arms right now getting the oil. Check it out, it's starting to pressure up good. We're at about 50 right now. And I'm just barely on the trigger. One step up on my speed now. So we're clearly running over 55 right now. We should start seeing some oil here pretty soon. That's why you want to do this before you try to start that car. You want oil in everything. Pressure's building pretty fast now. Okay. Turn it a little bit. few. Yeah. Our push rods are starting to push some oil through, guys, over here. This is very crucial to starting an engine. Very. All right. We're getting there. And we'll do this. So that was the third time, correct? We'll do that 8 times. We want 2 full rotations. I'll probably even do it more. I know I'll do it more over the next few days. We want everything to have a chance to oil up. Whenever I heat the shop up, I point it at this too. If there was any kind of old oil sitting in the bearings, breaking oil, any kind of, or see how it's starting to leak out there? This has got to push through all that and penetrate it. You know, we're not pulling all the connecting rods and all that apart and changing out the bearings and re-sealing it. We're going to see if we can do this. You know what I mean? Y'all follow? We're doing it the DIY way. Okay. I'm gonna get this going. I'll bring you guys back. Man, so tell me, what do you guys think, man? Kind of a cool video, right? Cool little engine, man. It'd be neat if it was the W30. However, we're not gonna complain with the condition that thing's in. I'm gonna continue oiling this for a few more days, that sort of thing. All the gaskets and stuff come in tomorrow. So really, I'm kind of at a stopping point. I want to get the valve covers on there and make sure that it's all sealed up. But I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to cut this video right there. And if you guys feel compelled to subscribe, you know, do so. I'm just a old dude that makes videos when I can, and I use my own dimes and nickels. But I try to bring some cool stuff in, you know. And that's about it. That's my spiel, man. Likes help, comments help. There's other social media stuff, not on it much, you know. We got to go through the TH400, that sort of thing. There might be some value in it, is what I'm saying. If you feel compelled, subscribe. I'm going to call it quits right here on this video. I'm going to continue on, of course, when parts come in. But we needed a good spot to end. And once we get this done, we've got to jump on the inside of this. We're gonna get this engine bay all buttoned up. So that's it, guys. I certainly appreciate y'all hanging out, man. I'm gonna catch up with you guys on the next one, man. Until next time, guys, peace and cheers, and go build awesome stuff.